Welcome to my channel Starwire Daily. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates. Picture this, the golden hour light of Venice, Italy, casting its magical glow over the most prestigious film festival in the world. Camera flashes erupting like lightning across the red carpet. And there, stepping out a sleek black car, is one of Hollywood's most captivating young couples. But here's the thing that has everyone talking tonight. They weren't supposed to be the main story. Welcome back to Starwire Daily, where we dive deep into the moments that make Hollywood hearts skip a beat. I'm your host, and tonight, we're taking you behind the velvet ropes of what might just be the most romantic premiere of the year. Because when Kaia Gerber and Louis Pullman showed up to support the testament of Lee at the Venice Film Festival, they didn't just attend an event. They created one. Now, before we get into the delicious details of what happened on that red carpet, let me paint you the full picture. Venice isn't just any film festival. This is where careers are made, where Oscar campaigns begin, and where the world's most beautiful people gather to celebrate cinema at its finest. It's a place where every gesture is analyzed, every glance is photographed, and every moment of affection becomes front-page news. And Kaia Gerber? She knows this world better than most. Born into the spotlight as the daughter of supermodel Cindy Crawford, she's been navigating cameras since she could walk. But here's what makes her story so fascinating. She's never let that legacy define her. At just 22, she's carved out her own path, becoming a force in both modeling and acting, proving that sometimes the apple doesn't just fall far from the tree. It plants itself in entirely new soil. Then there's Louis Pullman. And oh, what a journey he's been on. The son of Independence Day, star Bill Pullman, Louis spent years deliberately staying in the shadows, working as a grip on film sets, learning the industry from the ground up. He wanted to earn his stripes, not inherit them. When he finally stepped in front of the camera, it was with a quiet confidence that spoke volumes about his character. But here's where tonight's story gets really interesting. These two didn't meet at some glamorous Hollywood party or through their famous parents' connections. No, their love story began in the most beautifully ordinary way, on a film set, working together, discovering that sometimes the best relationships grow from shared passion and mutual respect. So when they stepped onto that Venice red carpet together, hand in hand, there was something different in the air. The photographers sensed it immediately. The way Louis's hand found the small of Kaia's back as they posed. The way she looked up at him with genuine adoration, not the practiced smile of a model, but the unguarded expression of a woman completely smitten. And then it happened. The moment that has entertainment reporters scrambling and social media absolutely melting down. As they moved through the photo line, Louis leaned down and whispered something in Kaia's ear. Something that made her laugh, not the polite giggle you hear at premieres, but a real, genuine burst of joy that lit up her entire face. And in that split second, as she turned to respond, they shared the kind of kiss that makes the world disappear around you. It wasn't staged. It wasn't calculated. It was pure, spontaneous affection, captured by dozens of cameras, but somehow still feeling intensely private. The kind of moment that reminds you why we fall in love with love stories in the first place. Now, let's talk about what makes this couple so captivating, because it's not just their undeniable chemistry. In an industry where relationships often feel transactional, where dating becomes part of the publicity machine, Kaia and Louis have maintained something remarkably authentic. Think about it. When was the last time you saw Kaia post a thirsty Instagram story or Louis sliding into drama on Twitter? They've managed to keep their relationship refreshingly drama-free in a town that thrives on chaos. They support each other's careers without competing for the spotlight. They show up to each other's events not because their publicists tell them to, but because they genuinely want to be there. And here's something beautiful that happened at the Venice premiere that most people missed. While the cameras were focused on the main stars of the Testament of Lee, Kaia was quietly studying the film poster, asking Louis thoughtful questions about the cinematography, the director's vision. This wasn't a woman playing the part of a supportive girlfriend. This was someone genuinely interested in the craft, in the art form that brought them together. Louis, meanwhile, was introducing Kaia to crew members, not as Cindy Crawford's daughter or even as my girlfriend, but simply as Kaia. Watching him pride himself on her accomplishments, seeing how he lights up when she talks about her own projects, it's the kind of mutual admiration that forms the foundation of truly lasting relationships. But let's get back to those red carpet moments because, honey, they gave us enough content to last a lifetime. There was the way Louis adjusted Kaia's train without being asked, the protective way he guided her through the crowd of photographers, never possessive, always respectful. There was the moment when a reporter asked them about wedding plans, a question that would make most Hollywood couples tense up or deflect, and they just looked at each other and smiled, comfortable in whatever timeline belongs to them. And can we talk about the fashion for a moment? Because these two understood the assignment. Kaia, stunning in a vintage-inspired gown that somehow managed to be both timeless and thoroughly modern, looked like she stepped out of 1960s Italian film. The dress hugged her in all the right places while maintaining an elegance that spoke to her growing sophistication as a style icon. Louis, meanwhile, proved once again that sometimes the most powerful fashion statement is perfect simplicity. His classic tuxedo fit him like it was crafted by angels, and the way he wore it, confident but never cocky, reminded everyone why old Hollywood glamour never goes out of style. But here's what really has everyone talking, and why this Venice appearance feels like such a significant moment for both of them. Industry insiders are whispering that this public display of affection, this comfortable intimacy they displayed, signals something deeper. Sources close to the couple suggest they've reached a new level of commitment, a readiness to share their love story more openly with the world. And timing-wise, it makes perfect sense. Kaia's career is absolutely soaring. She's got major film projects lined up, fashion campaigns that are setting new standards, and a growing reputation as someone who brings both beauty and intelligence to every project. Louis, meanwhile, is experiencing his own renaissance, with critics finally recognizing the subtle power he brings to every role. They're both at that sweet spot where success feels stable enough to risk vulnerability, where they can support each other without fear of one overshadowing the other. You know what struck me most about watching the footage from Venice? It was seeing two people who genuinely like each other. Not just love, like they laugh at each other's jokes. They communicate with glances across crowded rooms. They create little bubbles of privacy, even in the most public spaces. There's something almost radical about that in today's social media-driven world, where relationships are performed as much as they're lived. Kaia and Louis seem to have figured out how to be genuinely present with each other, even when hundreds of cameras are capturing their every move. And let's address the elephant in the room, the age difference. At 31, Louis is nearly a decade older than Kaia's 22 years. In Hollywood terms, that's barely worth mentioning, but it has sparked some conversation online. What's beautiful about watching them together is how that difference translates into balance rather than imbalance. He's not trying to mentor her or change her. She's not trying to prove her maturity or sophistication. They just fit. Louis brings a groundedness that seems to anchor Kaia's natural vivacity, while she brings a joy and spontaneity that keeps him from taking himself too seriously. It's the kind of partnership that feels effortless because both people are secure in who they are individually. Now, let's talk about what this Venice appearance might mean for their future, because the timing feels significant. Venice has always been a festival where couples make statements. Remember when Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga's chemistry nearly broke the internet? Or when Timothée Chalamet and Armie Hammer's friendship captured hearts worldwide? There's something about Venice that encourages authenticity, that strips away some of Hollywood's usual pretense. And for Kaia and Louis to choose this moment, this festival, this film to make their most public romantic statement yet, it feels intentional. Industry watchers are already speculating about what projects they might collaborate on next. Kaia's been increasingly selective about her acting roles, choosing projects that challenge her rather than simply capitalize on her famous last name. Louis has been building a reputation for bringing depth to every character, no matter how small the role. The possibility of seeing them work together again, of watching their real-life chemistry translate to on-screen magic, has directors and producers already reaching for their phones. But beyond the career implications, beyond the beautiful photos and the social media frenzy, what happened in Venice represents something deeper about love in the public eye. In a world where celebrity relationships often feel manufactured, where every date is a photo opportunity and every breakup becomes a publicity campaign, Kaia and Louis are writing a different story. They're showing us that it's possible to be famous and still find something real. That you can grow up in the spotlight and still discover genuine connection. That love doesn't have to be performed to be valid, but that sometimes sharing joy naturally makes it even more beautiful. As I watched them navigate that red carpet, laughing with photographers, stealing quiet moments between interviews, supporting not just each other, but the film they were there to celebrate, I couldn't help but think about how rare this is. How precious it is to witness two people who seem to have found their person, who could be completely themselves even when the world is watching. The Venice Film Festival will end, the red carpets will be rolled up, and the photographers will move on to the next event. But what Kaia Gerber and Louis Pullman shared on those ancient Italian streets, that moment of pure, unguarded affection, will be remembered long after the last award is handed out. Because in a world that often feels cynical about love, especially celebrity love, they reminded us why we believe in fairy tales in the first place. Not because life is always perfect, but because sometimes when two people find each other, they create something beautiful enough to make the whole world pause and smile. And maybe that's the most beautiful testament of all. Not to Lee, but to the possibility that love, real love, still exists. That it can flourish even under the brightest spotlights, grow stronger even when everyone is watching, and surprise us all by being exactly what it appears to be. Two people, deeply happy, sharing their joy with a world that desperately needs to see it. So what do you think? Are Kaia and Louis the real deal? Or are we all just caught up in the romance of Venice? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I love hearing your takes on Hollywood's hottest couples. And if you enjoyed diving deep into this beautiful love story with me, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes glimpses into the lives of your favorite stars. Until next time, keep believing in love, keep watching the stars, and remember, sometimes the most beautiful stories are the ones that happen when nobody's trying to write them. This is Starwire Daily, and I'll see you in the next one.